All right. Dave here. How are you? Streaming live. Hopefully will keep my eye. Yes, it looks like it's all going to happen for me. Dave here. How are you? Last day of 2017. And what a year. What a year. I have not this year had a look at all the people who died. Now that sounds a little bit morbid, but one year there was all of these famous people, these celebrities that had died. Obviously people die every day, you know, nothing special. And I read through a list and it probably wasn't a great thing to do. Anyway, so today we're not going to go anywhere near that. Tomorrow is 2018, so today, 31st of December, and it is just on 11 o'clock Australian Eastern Daylight Time. All right, what are we going to do today? Let me have a look. Saying g'day to everyone. Steve H, g'day. Fred Chew, g'day. Stuart Cottrell, g'day. Wayne Jones, g'day. Cram, g'day. Happy New Year to everyone for tonight and tomorrow. How's that? Just crazy. Do you ever get the feeling that, man, where'd the year go? I know it's a cliche saying, where's the time gone? But I'll tell you, as you get older, and I know that the majority of the people that watch this show are ancient like me. Did you see the photo I took or my daughter took of me standing beside her daughter, so my granddaughter, 12 years old, she's half an inch taller than me. And people have said, oh, are you short? Well, I'm 5'10", so, you know, it's not tall, it's not short, you know, I would have thought it's kind of average kind of a height for a guy of my age in Australia. I'm getting shorter. Does that happen to any of you guys? Do you feel as though that, like in the morning when I get up, you know, everything's fine, I'm probably about 5'10" and a half, maybe 5'11". By the end of the day, I compact. Does anyone else get that? I'm sure you do. Craig, g'day. Graham Searle, morning Dave. John Lafferty, Julia says, hi, g'day John, how are you? Wolfram Herzog, hi from Germany. Dave M, morning from cold Wisconsin. Fred, hope you had a good year and better next year. Well, it's pretty cool, pretty good. Now, again, I've got this kind of a brown look on the stream. I don't know what that's all about. Last time I said I was going to try something, and I'm just wondering whether I should. Oh, goodness, I don't know. I'm going to leave it. What I was going to try was turning off one of the browsers because I'm thinking that because I'm pushing the stream up and also pulling it back down in the other browser, because that's where the chat box is, and I don't know with this new program whether it's going to affect the settings. But anyway, not to worry. We'll keep reading. Mark, morning everybody. Govinda, morning Dave. G'day Govinda, how are you? Let me read what we're going to do. Oh, that's right. The same thing as every week I say, if you're new to the show, what we do is we have a bit of a chat, a g'day, you know, backwards and forwards in the chat session for maybe the first 10 minutes. Then we'll get into the things that we're going to do. So the things we're doing today are, John Lafferty has done an assortment of bench dogs for me on his 3D printer. And there they are. What do you think of that? That's pretty amazing. So I've got the bench set up. The Stanton bench, of course, is all set up with some sharpening that we're going to do, some sanding on the edge of that camphor laurel slab, and what else? John's bench dogs that are an amazing collection. And looking down here, reading in the corner. Okay, whites are blooming out a bit today. Yes, they are. Now, people ask me about that. You notice on the camera that we're looking at the moment, things are overexposed. But this part here, my eyes, if I have the camera set to correct exposure for everything else behind me, what happens is you won't see my eyes. They'll go dark, and, you know, just got this thing. After being a photographer, the eyes are important. It is a webcam. It is not one of my high definition with a large dynamic range. High dynamic range, which means it collects more of the spectrum. You know, this. Look, I don't want to go into a photography lesson. Let's just say that the camera that I'm using will do what it can do, and it'll do it, you know, to the best of its ability. Now, the sound I'm using, the wireless mic again, this little guy down here. There we go. You should have heard a tap, tap, tap noise. So no matter where I am in the shot, whether I'm up the other end of the workshop or doing the demonstration or sitting here talking, you should all be getting the same amount of volume, which I think is good. Okay, Rebecca Taylor, hello, my friend. How are you doing? I'm doing very well, Rebecca. Govinda, to my fellow woodworkers, Dave M, 6'4", maybe getting shorter would be good for us tall guys. You wouldn't have to use as much timber in a house then, because the doorways would all be lower and you get around. Some of the old homes in England, I believe, and Europe have got very short doorways, and that's just indicative of the size of people back then. They were shorter. We're all getting taller. Okay, Adventures in Wood, Dave from Vancouver, Washington, USA. Fred, you look great here in Idaho. I'm not actually there in Idaho, but I'll tell you what, grab a photo of where you're watching and flick it into me for the new show for next year. So anyone who's watching, wherever you are, get someone to take a photo of you watching the telly or the monitor, or, wherever you are. I've had people take photos of me while they're watching the show in a car. Not that they were driving, I don't think. They're probably parked in a car park. That'd be fun. Email them in to me, davestantonfans@gmail.com. Information in the description box down below the video here. Just expand it, show more, and there's a whole heap of links in there. I've also put links for John's 3D printed bench dogs and all sorts of things that he's made for this Stanton bench, which is it's amazing. Okay. Okay, Dave M. Items made through a 3D printer, durable and strong. Look, they're not going to be as strong as stainless steel, for sure. But I'll tell you what, they are handy. Now, how many of us here are going to be using something in a commercial situation or on the tools every day? So for someone in a garage workshop, I reckon they'll be fine. If you're using them once every weekend or every couple of weekends, not a problem at all. The legs are extremely good. They're very, very impressive. So I'll take you through all of those soon as well. Now, just be aware that, as I say, in the description box, I have got links for John's Facebook page and also to Thingiverse. Now, let me scratch my nose. Thingiverse is a place where people put 3D print projects. And, I don't know if they charge for them or not. They probably do. They put the effort in. Why not? And I think also there's links there if you want to buy the things made already. You can buy them straight off that site as well. Now, for contractors, probably not a great idea. If you stick with things like the PAF dogs or the TSO's aluminium dogs, they're probably going to be stronger and last a fair bit more. Well, they will be stronger, definitely. But I take my hat off to John for doing these. So for a hobbyist, these things are going to be fine. Okay. Next one, Ray. Good morning, Dave in Victoria. Bunnings stores are selling those foam mats for $4.60 per pack. I just purchased same for my shop. Pierce, Happy New Year. Okay, so $4.60 per pack. Is there 6 in the pack, Ray, or is there something different? And are they the same size? Have they got holes in them or not? Or are they full? See, the ones that I got are a full complete mat. That's the other thing I was going to talk about today was the mats. I'm talking too much. Here we go. Let's talk about more what's going to happen. John Lafferty, I've already done that. Father Brett Guthrie's shop update. Now, I had a chat with Brett during the week via email, and he's done some... his workshop is coming along nicely. He's not racing along. He has some issues in the background, but he's still getting there, and he's sending some photos. So I've got some photos from before it all started, before he got the bug bad, and through to where he's at the moment. So that'll be some good things to look at. Wi-Fi calling. Have you ever heard of Wi-Fi calling? Do you live in a dead mobile service area like I do? In this workshop, the roof is corrugated iron. All the walls on the outside are corrugated iron. It is almost impossible for a mobile signal or a Wi-Fi signal to get into this building. Add on to that I live in a valley and I'm up in the mountains, so analog used to get me, but digital, not a hope in hell. So I fixed that, and I'm going to tell you how to do that. And it was time for me to get a new phone, so I went onto a plan, and I'll tell you all about that later in the show. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, Man, oh man, I spent a week and a half to 2 weeks researching it, and I am so happy with the result. You heard the phone just go then? You know, just talking to me. It'll take phone calls, messages, like text, not, yeah. I don't know if it'll do video message, but it'll do phone calls. Brilliant. And text messages. And there's no app running in the background. It's all part of it. It's just brilliant. More camphor sanding on the end section of the chopping board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the camphor chopping board that I finished one side on, bring it over to here, put it in the Stanton bench, clamp it onto the skirt, and show you how versatile the thing is. Switch the pads around on my sander, and then run some paper over it as well. So pads and paper are different things. Pads give you the different contour capacity or dead flat. I'll take you through those. George's pencil box, one of the people that bought the plans off me on my Etsy site for the pencil box, sent some photos into me. He's over the moon. He loves it. And he said, thank you so much. He said, it's been great. And thank you for having the channel. I love it when people get back to me like that. It's, you know, it makes it worthwhile. Here we go. What's the next thing? Sharpening a chisel again. I'm going to have a quick play around with a chisel if I get the time. Now, Graham Ormisher has said, Dave, the first thing you need to do with a chisel is to make sure that the back is dead flat. It's got to be polished. And I agree. Yes, you do. But the thing is, the first time I showed the sharpening on the show, which was around about 6 weeks ago, I had presumed, you know, I shouldn't presume. I presumed that people already knew that the back had to be flat. From the factory, they're not too bad, and you know you can probably start getting a pretty keen edge, but you're not going to get a razor sharp unless that back is dead flat and you know, polished. But it doesn't have to be all the way, and I'll show you why. All right, what's the next thing? Keep the channel afloat. Use the affiliate links in the description box below. As I say, that helps keep the nasty part of the finance working for me in the background, so that you know, I can buy things to show you on the show. And also, yes, people do send some stuff into me. I've got a couple of things that some people have sent in at the end of the last year, and I'll be doing some videos on that in the coming weeks. I haven't been doing any videos at night. Oh, sorry, on a Saturday night for the last 2 weeks. The reason being, I'm on holidays and I'm trying to have a break. The live show takes me about 3 hours to set up, and that's nowhere near as much time as it takes to create a video. So all up, it's about half a day that I lose with the live show. With a video, it's 8 hours of work for 5 minutes. And my videos are normally between 10 to 20 minutes. So that can be anywhere between 2 days or 4 days. And I only get 4 days off a week from, you know, a regular job. So I hear everyone saying, boo-hoo. Well, I'm not trying to come over like that. What I'm trying to say is that I put an awful lot of effort into it. I don't have, whilst I'm on holidays, I just want to have some time with my family and hang out with you guys on the live stream. Okay, and next week, let's have a look at some more viewer projects and keep moving along. Now, I'm going to do some reading here and see where we're up to. Okay, William Smith, Harlesburg. I'm going to punch this up a little bit bigger so I can see it. That's better. Hold on. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, wishing you a Happy New Year. Govinda, yes, David M. Depends on the material you use. Well, I've already addressed that one, I think. Properly printed 3D is quite stable and robust, but it is able to be sanded, and you know, it's you'd have a hard time wearing out a stainless steel tall palf dog in comparison to one of John's tall palf dogs, which is this guy here. Now, it's a beautiful dog, don't get me wrong, and it's already got the thread printed in the end. Don't know if you can see that. If I get it in front of my face, it might be able to show it. There we go. See, these cameras all have face recognition. I don't know if you'll see that. Anyway, they fit it beautifully. Next thing. Steve Wallbank, morning Dave, still recovering from 30 plus Christmas Day and 1.5 hours sleeping, or 15 sleeping over. Wow. Peter, also, they don't dull your tools like steel would. Okay. Are you kidding me? Govinda, thank you so much. Govinda's just done a super chat. And I get blown away when that happens. Thank you so much, Govinda. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you so much. Peter Robinson, also they don't dull your tools. Blake Williams, Thingiverse allows free downloads of projects. There you go, Blake. Bill Gilmore, Happy New Year, Dave. Great show as usual. Russell Wright, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Ray, Dave, there are 4 in a pack and 500 by 500 with no holes at all. Okay, so there's 6 in the pack that I got from Aldi, and they're they're 600. I think they're 600. I'll measure them, tell you straight away. And here's a situation where you will hear the sound follow me or follow around without going quiet in the background. Let's have a quick measure. Where are we? Yeah, 600. 600 by 600. So 1.2, it's 1.8 by 1.2 coverage for, I think it is $9.90 or something like that. Every now and then they'll put them on special as well. But you can't mix and match, you know, you can't get the Aldi ones and then go and get some Bunnings ones to fill it up because they interlock. Okay. Remote Beer Systems, hey Dave from Indianapolis, love the show. Oh, good, thank you for saying you love the show. Swedish Nuts, hey Dave. Barry, Happy New Year. Barry is having a rest after the show last week. His back legs aren't going too well, and because he had to stand up all day yesterday while we were having some Christmas lunch with a few rallies, and you know, wore him out standing up all that time waiting for food. It didn't happen. Michael Christophers, thanks for 2017. Where are we? Coming back down through there. Sorry, I'm just doing a tiny little bit of housework here. There, that's better. I've just opened up the chat box a little bit bigger so I can see what's going on. Brian, morning, Dave. Happy New Year, mate. Brian Shaw. Michael Christophers, thanks for 2017. Fantastic year of shows and how-to shows. Ian, g'day, Dave. Happy New Year to you and your family. Ian, I drove past your establishment the other day. I went ducked down to Bunnings and bought some potion for the pond. So the water that I put in the pond, I got from my tanks. So I've got water tanks on the property here as well, even though we're on town water. But because the water has no chlorine or anything like that, and I've got to stop saying that, but any additives like fluoride or what have you is another one. What have you or anything like that. Pull me up on that. Okay, so what happens is because there's nothing to curb algae growth, the algae blooms with the heat we've had lately have just gone crazy. So it's singular cell algae turns the water green. So I bought this potion and you pop it in and you dose it once a week for 4 weeks, and they say it goes crystal clear by the end of it, and it will not affect the fish or the tadpoles that are in there. So at the moment we have floating weed, they're called duckweed, on the top, and when the fountain's running, it separates the weed out. It looks really, really nice, and you can see the fish down below under that grill that I put in, which keeps them safe. Life's a journey, isn't it? All right, so I drove past and you were shut. How dare you? I was going to drop in and say g'day. Wayne Jones, more thumbs up. You like Carl Coucher. Greetings from Northern Kentucky, Dave. Better late than never. Having some internet connectivity problems. Don't know how long this will last. That's no good, Carl. Govinda, New Year gift for you. Thank you so much, Govinda. Opa's workshop. Opa in the house. G'day, Opa. Bill Wade. Happy New Year from Cincinnati, Ohio. Working on a walnut countertop right now. That sounds nice. For those, Wayne Jones, for those down south in the US, my wife is inside fixing cabbage and black-eyed peas. We're nearly at the end of the reading here, so we'll jump onto some projects. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year from Opa. Jurgen Wagerman's new to your channel, and I greatly enjoy your projects and reviews. Thank you very much. And good day from San Francisco, CA, California, USA. Right. What was the first thing we're going to do? Let's have a look at some of these projects. Now, the first one I'm going to do is flick over to this pencil box. What do you think of that? That's from George. George bought the plans off my Etsy site, ETSY. I think there might be a link down in the description box. I can't remember. And how nice is that? How nice is that? And I think I might have another picture here. There we go. That's the inside. And he's done all of these little cradles for each individual pencil, like I show you how to in the plans as well. And you know what? Everyone that I've given that one of those boxes to absolutely loves it. Where are we now? Back to this one, back to there, and we'll do a quick read. Steve Curry, a bit cooler today, Dave. It is indeed. It's around 22 degrees here. Leroy Redding, g'day, Dave. Any idea when I can find the specific gravity of our Australian hardwoods? Recently bought a great moisture meter, but I'm finding it difficult to find the specific gravity to be able to use it. Yes, I think there's a book on Australian native trees that Carbotech sells. It's only a very smallish book, about this big, and it's got updates to it as well. So they keep on producing these updates, and it's got all the specific details about that type of timber. So I think it would have it in it. So you could jump online possibly and have a look at that, or just drop into the store and I'll see if I can find one for you. Will Smith, that pencil box is unreal. How nice is that? You know, it just gives me a buzz when I produce the product myself, and I have a great time doing that. It's the fun of making it, the joy of giving it to someone, and then also, yeah, when other people are impressed with it enough to go out and buy some plants and make one themselves. I love it. It blows me away. All right, Eric Timmerman, welcome back, Dave. Where have I been? I didn't know I was anywhere. Let's see what else we've got here. Now, remember that I said I'd tell you about Brett Lafferty? Oh, sorry, Brett Lafferty. Father Brett Guthrie. It's John Lafferty. I'm getting ahead of myself here. I'm going to slip this over. Here we go. This is his workshop. And this is before he decided to build a new bench. And here's all the carcasses he's built. And sitting up the back there, and there's his hammer. And there's Brett doing a little photo bomb in the corner of his picture, all the cabinets pocket holed together. And I advised Brett to use LVL beams for the bench top, because it's a nice, quick, easy way. And he did that, and he's biscuited them together. And then he's decided to go in and do some shelf pin holes. He said over 1,000 shelf pin holes. So here he is, he's joined the beams together with biscuits, and then he's gone over it with Osmocoat, I think is what he used. No, Van Dyke crystals first, and then Osmax or whatever it is, stain, and Jarrah faced everything. And doesn't that look bloody nice? Pardon the French, Brett, but you've done very, very well. That looks so much better than the original. Next thing he's got to do is make some drawers. So he said, I'm going to have some fun with that because I think I made the cabinet slightly out of square. Always a good idea to try and tune your saw up first before you do a whole run of sheet. But he'll get there. It'll be fine. Ian, sorry I missed you, but just like you, needed a holiday too as well. That's all right, Ian. Next time I'm going past and I see you sitting around in the corner looking at the cars wondering why you're doing this job, I might drop in and say hi. Leroy, awesome. I'll grab next time I'll pop into Carbotech. Cheers, Dave. Now, the last one we're going to do is I'm going to show you these cam clamps also that John Lafferty has made. As you know, it's just amazing. So, as I say, he's made all these things here. I've got the second camera set up, pointing down at a few of his things. So how about we have a look? John sent me up a little video. I'll jump on to this one first. I'm still having some fun learning this new software. But here we go. This is John's video that he sent up to me, and I'll do a talk over on it. So there's some dog holes he's got, and they're all at 96mm centers. He's used the path guide system, UJK path guide system. There's some ordinary dogs, and he's made these clamps. Now he's going to pop those in together, and he's going to just push the clamps together. Maybe you should have pushed the white one first, John. There we go. Nips it up. And now he's got a tension scale. So he's going to set that in a second. Got to turn it on first, John. That's it. And he said that he managed to pull a force of 22 kilos. So here he goes. He's going to pull like crazy. Nothing moves. And then undo the clamps and shows you how easy it is to do. What's he going to do now? How nice is this for John to do this for us? These are his the dogs that he's shown me, that he sent up, and I'll show you later on. They're a very, very tight fit. You can just give it a quick touch with some sandpaper to ease them a little bit if you needed to. But I'll tell you what, that's just showing the pressure that these plastic dogs will take. Again, go with the scale, 22 kilos. That. Thank you very much for that, John. Yeah, loosen them off first, buddy. But how good is that? So it's worth your while. Go and have a look on Thingiverse. I think I put links in the description box below where it says show more. Right down near the bottom, you can have a look at the stuff that he does. I think that is it there. Where are we? Pencil box, John, camera 1, camera 2, and Brett. Yep. All right. Now, the great thing about this as well is I can slide around to the other camera over here, or to the other spot. And before I do that, don't you love it? This is so much fun. I'm going to pull this back over to here to about there. You should be able to see what I'm up to there. I'll drop the door into the garage down out of the way. Lovely. Okay, you can see me. You can hear everything happening still. Wayne in the workshop is looking great. Terry Joel, that setup would be handy to do edge banding. Indeed. Great work. Isn't it great work? He's a talent. He's just brilliant. All right. Now, I'm going to switch cameras, which I think I can do via there. How's that? Now, I mucked around with the colors a fair bit on the cameras this morning to try and get the colors as close to correct as possible without getting any blowout. Now, this is when you bring the things up close. That's my old oil stone from many years ago. Made that as an apprentice. These are one of John's legs that he's made for the Stanton bench. You can buy them off him if you want. I don't know if it'll come with the threaded rod. That's a piece of 5/16 rod, and he's tapped a thread, or not tapped, he printed the thread into the plastic leg as he made it. How cool is that? Now, he's also made these so that that's 20 mil there. So it will go straight into there. So you can use it as a support on the top as well if you wanted to. And it already has that. You can put the thread on so it will go into the inserts, and it's the perfect height to support underneath there. I don't know if you can see, you probably can't see that, but it works brilliantly. So you need to go and have a look at those. He's made all of these other interesting dogs. That's a right angle, and again 20 millimeters, and 20 millimeters round with a flat, and full round 20 millimeters. And what else has he got here? He also prints them in 3/4 inch. So if you've only got a 3/4 inch drill or 3/4 inch dog holes in your existing bench, you can still use them. This one is 20 mil dogs with a straight bar, which I think is very impressive. And also a right angle, 20 mil dogs. As I say, these things, you can sand them a little bit to get the burrs down so you can get them to fit in without a worry. And they go in. No, I shouldn't put it there. Let's bring it up here further. Let's go there. No. That's very, very impressive. I'm not going to push it down all the way because I'd struggle to get it out. I do need to give it just the slightest sanding, but there is no movement whatsoever. Isn't that amazing? So there you go, John. That's I don't know if I could give you more of a rap than that. That sounds pretty amazing. Where's camera 1? There it is. Back to me. All right. Now, the next thing I wanted to do was do a little bit of sanding on that camphor laurel, and I'll get that piece of timber that I was using. So I'm back again. I'll do a quick read. So there's the camphor laurel. Oh, over on this camera here that I've been working on. And I'm going to try and do something with this edge. See that edge? People have said, don't get rid of it, Dave. Well, let's do something with it. So we will. I'll have a quick drink. Den's Bush Pig. G'day, Dave. Opa's workshop. I'm seeing a lot of German tool green in that shop, Dave. You will, Opa, because I'm a little bit of a festal nut. Matthew Warner. Happy New Year to all and sundry from the high plains of New Mexico. G'day, Matt. How are you, buddy? John, big rap, many thanks. Not a problem, John. It's worth it. Yeah, I love the stuff. John, you're a mega legend. Bill Wayner, what type of plastic are the dogs made from? John, can you answer that, please? And just on the chat, I think it's PLA plastic, whatever that is. So I'll have a quick read of this again. Where are we? Oh, I'll tell you what, I'll switch the cameras and that'll be easier to read. There we go. So there you go. Yellow box shed, PLA bench dogs, and you see he's got them all listed out there, and they're prices that he'll do them for you in Australian dollars. So that's that lot, and then there's more as well. So there you go. Now, people might say, what's going on here, Dave? What are you doing? You know, this is looking a bit too commercial. Well, I got to tell you, it's not commercial. John is a guy that I've developed a bit of a friendship with, and why not? You know, he's motivating himself. He's had a bit of a hard trot, health-wise, and he's motivating himself to get out in the shed and do some things, take his mind off his issues. And why not? He's bought the plans for this bench, and even on his website, on his Thingiverse site, he's put a link into my stuff. So why not? You know, it all makes the world go round, reciprocating, helping each other out. And he's come up with ideas. The first ones he printed of these were solid, and he said, "Man, it's using a whole lot of filament. You know, it's costing me a bomb." And then I said, "Look, is there anything you can do?" So he came back and he said, "Dave, I found a way of not using as much filament, and I can get the price down for people that might be interested." So there you go. As I say, these are for people, like these things are for people that would be hobbyists. They'd be great. But as I say, if you're a contractor, I'd still probably go with the stainless steel ones from Peter Parford, or the aluminium dogs from TSO products. All right, enough of that. We'll move those off. So, you guys, if you want to catch up with the shows, with the previous shows that I've done, let's see if I'm still here. Reading down through here, Colin Blankship, hello Dave, looks like some nice add-ons for the Stanton table. Indeed, it is PLA filament. Opa's workshop, that wasn't an insult, Dave. I envy your collection of German tool green. No, I don't take it. It'd be very hard to insult me. I've been around the traps a long time. I'm a retired builder. I have experienced so much on building sites. You'd be bloody hard pressed to annoy me. All right, what am I going to do next? Do you want me to talk about the phones next? I'll tell you what, why not? Now, as I was saying at the beginning of the show, I live in a mobile dead area. And for people in Australia, this is probably going to be more pertaining to people in Australia. Telstra, I get a little bit of service outside, but nothing inside. Optus, nothing anywhere. And so I went down the track of getting I've got a Telstra line in, and I had some help from one of my subscribers, Greg Begini. Gave me a name of a guy who might be able to help me out and put an aerial in here. He went through a list of options. There was 3 or 4 different options, and I thank him so much. His name was Alan. And I might see if I can do a bit of a special show about what he's done for me. But it wasn't a whole lot, but he just put out my options for me. I had no idea there was this thing called Wi-Fi calling or Wi-Fi talk. Now, it's something that both Optus and Telstra will carry. And even though I've got a Telstra line into my property and my Wi-Fi is all through Telstra broadband, I ended up getting an Optus phone because they were on special. So I had a great deal, and then the Wi-Fi talk wouldn't work. And I'd even, gone down the track of trying to use other phones and it wasn't working. Anyway, tell you what, it was driving me crazy, the research, because it was an area that I didn't really know, and I didn't want to ring these other people up during the Christmas break. So I struggled on, and I did as much research as I could on the web, watched a fair bit of YouTube and checked different forums. And there was all sorts of issues that they were saying, oh, you've got to have the pass-through filter turned off, or you've got to have the pass-through filter turned on your modem. And, it was starting to get into areas that I really didn't know too much about. So I bought the phone on a great plan, and then I went back to the guy that sold it, and I said, mate, it's not working. This Wi-Fi calling is not working. And he said, that seems strange. So he jumped on the line to Optus, and Optus said, oh, our bad. We haven't turned it on at the back end. So it was turned on the phone, but not on down at the exchange. So they turned it on. Should be fine in 15 minutes, Dave. Not a problem. 3 hours, 4 hours went past. I was doing some other things. I wasn't all that concerned. And at the end of the day, I was thinking, come on, this is crazy. So the guy at Optus at Springwood Phone House, and I'm going to mention his name because he really did help me out a lot. So I'm talking about everyone. I'm talking about Telstra and Optus, and they're rivals. I don't care. They both helped me out. So then spoke to him, and he said, here's the phone number for Optus, and this is a particular one. You will get good help from these guys, right? So I rang up, feeling disillusioned and thinking, I don't think I'm going to get in. I'm going to get a call center somewhere. It's going to drive me crazy. I'm going to end up swearing at the person at the other end of the line, which I know so many people in Australia get that feeling. Well, I'll tell you what, blow me down. I got onto a guy called Nads, N-A-D-Z. Now, I don't know what nationality Nads is, but he helped me out big time. He stayed with me, and he apologized for being off the phone for even a half a minute. He said, and I got through him really quickly. He said, try this, try this, try this. He said, I don't understand what's happening. I've never had this issue before. And then he came back to me and said, Dave, try this. Turn the phone off and turn it back on and see what happens. Have you updated the latest software? All that stuff. Yes, update all the latest software. He said, turn the phone off, turn it back on, see what happens. And blow me down, it started working, and the call quality is exactly the same as I would get if I was right under a mobile phone tower. I am so impressed. So if you can find something called Wi-Fi calling, if you live in a dead area like I do, it doesn't matter that I don't get Optus here, because it seamlessly switches from mobile over to my Wi-Fi. As soon as I walk in the door, it goes straight to the Wi-Fi. Amazing. So Nads, thank you so much. I told him I was going to give him a wrap. I said to him yesterday, mate, normally I hang up from these phone calls and I'm ready to punch someone in there, punch them out. But this guy changed my mind totally. Very, very, very helpful. So Greg, thank you. Nads, thank you. Alan, thank you. And Keith down at the Optus Springwood mobile phone house, or phone house, whatever you call it. Thank you so much, everybody. This has changed the way that I do things. Brilliant. I'm not going to give it. No one has paid me to do this. I'm just letting you know I have found a way to do something that was bugging me for years and years and years and years. Untold years. Finally got an answer. So I thought I'd tell everyone on the live show. I may do a special. We'll see. But unbelievable. All right. On to the next thing. Where are we? Okay. Great, John. You're clever bugger. So go Nads. Yes, Stephen. The old turn it off and turn it on again, John. Dave Boyle. Hello, Dave. My daughter turns 5 tomorrow. She's watching with me. Can you give Emily a big happy birthday, Emily? Have a great New Year, Dave, from Dave and Emily in Michigan. Okay, here's a special one. You ready, Emily? Hey, Emily. Dave here. How are you? And happy birthday to you, darling. A big 5 years old. Are you going to school next year? And if you are, is it kindergarten? Yeah, have you got a school uniform, all that kind of stuff? And did Santa drop in and see you for Christmas? I'll tell you what, birthdays around Christmas time are a horrible thing. One of my grandsons' birthday is Boxing Day. Everyone is absolutely stuffed after Christmas Day. And poor old Aaron, he says, Anyway, he's a good kid. He'll get over it. Right, sanding. Let's do some sanding. I changed my mind halfway through something, and I go, oh, I shouldn't do that, so I won't. So we'll do the sanding. The only thing to watch out for is a Wi-Fi calling does use some of your data plan. Not a lot, but watch it. Okay, John, on that, I've got an unlimited data plan on the landline, and on that particular Optus one, which was a special until the 2nd, which is only 2 days away, 20 gig a month comes with the plan. I'll tell you how much it was, $59, phone and 20 gig unlimited calls for a 24-month plan. And it's a Samsung S8. So I'm stoked. I couldn't be happier. I really couldn't be happier. Okay, I stay with Android because I'm not an Apple person. I've never been Apple all my life. I've always had PC and Android. There you go. So we're going to jump into this part here. I'll slide that on. I love the Stanton bench. I love it, love it, love it. Here's the piece of timber. So I'm going to clamp it on there. Release this clamp, slide that up. How good is that? Ha! She's sitting there nice and tight. All right. Now I'm going to throw on another pad. There's the sander, and you'll see at the moment I've got the blue pad on. See, this color here is blue. I'll switch cameras. What fly grit to use on the table saw top and doing the waxing? Depends. I can either use the 320 or 280, whatever it is, and the 800 to finish off with the waxing. Is the normal way that I do it. If it's got some really bad rust points on it, I'll use the more aggressive fleece. If it's not so bad and just needs to clean up with a little bit of surface rust, I'll use the 800 and then wax over with the Silver Glide. Now I don't know where you guys can get Silver Glide in America or the States. I know in Australia we get Silver Glide from timber supply companies, as in timber machinery companies like Carbotech. I don't know if TimberCon sells it. Maybe they do, but just have a look around the web, see what you can find. Now under here we've got Allen key, and in here the center of there is Allen key as well. Crack it open. There we go. Now this pad, the blue one, is designed for flat surfaces. So if I'm doing a surface such as the Stanton bench here when I was building it, it was the blue one. I'm now going to use a super soft pad or soft pad, whichever. I think it's the super soft. It might just be the soft. The color here is normally the indicator. The soft, I think, is white. Super soft, I think, is white. But these are old pads. I've had them for a long time. Put that in. If you don't have a super soft, you can always use an interface pad. Hold on. Pop that down. There, that's locked in. There's a key it sits in. Okay, so yeah, I know, Steve. Apple. There's a lot of people out there that are Apple people, and that's fine. That's fine. My father was Apple, and my sister and my mother are both Apple people. My brother and I are both PC. Jeff Coe. Dave, I recently sanded my Blackwood table with Festool Rotex 150, left small circle marks over the surface using 80 grit initially. Do you think the circles are caused sandpaper too coarse? Let me answer that question looking at the other camera. Yeah, there's a couple of things that can be happening depending on the dust extractor that you've got to keep the dust away. The dust extractor may be pulling the sander down too hard on the surface. Most Festool dust extractors have got a variable flow rate. Or you can also buy a connector or make a connector out of some conduit that's got a sleeve. With vacuum cleaners, they've got a sleeve on the nozzle so you can reduce the amount of suction that's happening. It's like a bypass going in. So it's not pulling the sander down hard and leaving the swirlies. You will find with the 80 grit that you'll get the swirlies to start anyway. And the whole reason of going down through the grits is to get rid of the marks, the sanding marks from the previous grit. So I normally go 80, 120, 180, 240. Now, if I want to go crazy, I'll keep on going from 240, but it's rare that I do. So 240, then I'd go to 320, and then possibly 400. And then you can start going to insane types like 500 and go all the way out to 2,000 at least. I think Festool even does a 4,000. But that's starting to go into areas where it's polishing for automobiles. Not so much for timber work, unless of course you're doing some waxing, and it's a quality product. With this bench, I think I took it down to around about 180. Maybe 240, but I didn't go a long way because you can see every now and then I leave dents on it anyway, so it's a workbench. Right, now I've got that on. I did mention an interface pad. Can't send a super chat with Apple. Shame. Well, there you go. That's a get out of jail free card for you, wasn't it? Not to worry, Stephen. Jeffco, but thank you for the thought. Jeffco, I had to vacuum it on full bore. Okay, try turning the vac all the way down. Yeah, that can work. As I said. Now this thing here is an interface pad, and I'll switch the cameras again. I love this, having the two cameras set up. There. All right. So there's the interface pad, and you can see it's squishy foam like that. That's correct. That is correct. Don't put the sander down while it's running. So it is Velcro on that side. There's Velcro there. So I'm now going to line up the holes. Put my glasses on for this part. Line the holes up. And on it goes. Look at that. So that is super spongy. Now the thing is, those interface pads do tend to make a whole lot more work for the sander because they're dragging that thing behind them. What grit have we got here? I've got some 40. I'm going to put some 40 grit on. See that? Festool goes to 1100 grit polish for your car. Yeah, but that's a polish. That's not the actual paper. Okay, so I'm going to pop that on there. Now, why am I using this interface pad with this? Because this live edge is live. I want to follow the contours as much as possible and leave the contours there if I can. Put my headset on. I'm not going to use the dust mask for the moment. I'm got the dust extractor pulling the dust away from it pretty well, and I'm going to use this. I will put my room air filter on if I find the remote for it. Isn't that fun? There's got to be a remote here somewhere, David. Where are we? There, that'll do. Found it. And we'll turn it up to 2 times speed. Little things like this, I love it. I love it when you've got things that work in the workshop for you. Right. Now there's no need to make a big difference to the sound because this wireless microphone is fantastic. All right, I'm going to move that microphone, oh sorry, not the microphone, that camera from there over to there. You might be able to see the live edge a little bit better. Okay, Michael, see you later, buddy. Stay well. No more dropping the camera. Joe Brown, the wireless mic has been great. When you used to walk away, couldn't hear you. Yeah, it's getting better all the time. Okay, so watching here. I'll bring the camera over, you can have a better look. Basically, I'm trying to get rid of that top surface. You can see I'm sanding down through it because I've found that that delaminates. So if I can get down through that but keep that shape, as I say, I'm using 40 grit paper intentionally, and it's doing a pretty good job of it. Pity the pads are $80 each. Yeah. You like my work boots, do you? Yeah. So I'm making no comment. It's summer. It's hot. That's the way it goes. Where's this guy here? Switch this one back so that you're not looking at my boots. Greg Vigeni, you're welcome, Dave. Should have called me or Alan. We are always available. Glad you got it sorted. Happy New Year to you and everybody. But as I say, Greg, it's fantastic. It's working great. I don't know whether or not Telstra was going to... I checked all the Telstra plans and they weren't matching what Optus was offering on the day that I was in the Optus shop. It was unbelievable. So as I say, it's for another 2 days. And I'm sure Telstra will come out with a new plan in in a couple of days, and it'll be even better. My father used to say to me, Dave, David, you can never call him Dave. Fathers never call their sons by their nicknames. David, you can stand on a train station and wait all day for a faster train, but sometime you've got to get on a train at one point during the day, otherwise what the hell. Anyway, pretty good. Zane, the bestest Aussie boots ever. Cambodian safety boots. Terry Joel, ETS 150 is an awesome sound. It's my go-to one. I love this, and I also love the Rotex. On bigger jobs, I would have got the Rotex out for this and hooked into that. But it's doing a magic job. And look, how good is this bench? I got to keep saying, I'm so happy with it. I'll turn this around this way. Lock that on. There we go. And I'll do a little bit of sanding here. I'll show you how good it is. I'll get the other camera back over this side. That looks a whole lot better. I'll flip the other, go to the next camera, which is this one. Okay, so you can see this area here. This is the part I'm going to sand on. Don't worry about the tones of my shirt going darker or lighter. That's just the way it goes. Quick drink. You know, we talk about these safety boots and thongs and what have you, flip-flops, wherever you want to call, whatever country you're from. It's going to be a different name for them. But you can't tell me you've never walked into a workshop and done a little bit on a really hot day without wearing safety shoes. You know, I try and be safe as often as I can, but there's every now and then you say, you know what? And I know people say safety never takes a holiday. All right, let's hook in, continue with this 40 grit paper. That's very aggressive. Have a look at that. 40 grit paper with the interface pad and the super soft pad. Bit of an issue there with that pad. Paper's moving around on it a bit. I'm going to turn the speed up. I'd had it down, way down low. Whoa! Don't you love a 40 grit paper? But you can get the idea of what I'm doing. How nice is that? I think that looks a whole lot better. I'll take it off and show you. So they're the parts that I've done around the edge. And I think that looks a whole lot better than that, which I think will delaminate over time. You can see it here. See, it's looking a bit chalky on the edges. Okay, do another quick read. Zane, yes, I have the plans and everything but the wood. Local handyman trading post had eucalyptus surface ply, so going to get some next week and make a start before too long. Oh, good on you. New Makita track saw and path guide system, so can't wait to make a start on my very own Stabton bench. What's a Stabton bench? Stanton bench. Mac, all those invisible steel toe safety sandals. Yes, they are invisible steel. The Emperor's new clothes. Where's that can of drink? All right, we're up to 12 o'clock and I haven't finished everything. I want to do a little bit of sharpening. I think I've covered just about everything in the show that I was going to. Remind me if I haven't. Can someone please have a look at the, where are we? Switch that back to there. Have a look in the description box down below and see what I was going to talk about today. I've already talked about the Wi-Fi calling. I've also talked about John's dogs. I've talked about Brett Guthrie's workshop, and isn't that looking fantastic? And what else have we done? Sanding this, yeah. Get my list. It's going to be easier, isn't it? Sometimes the list that I write and the list that I put on the web may be slightly different. Camphor, George's pencil box, and sharpening the chisel. Let's do the sharpening the chisel. Now, a while back, I did a quick show on, well, it was on the live stream, about how to sharpen a chisel. And I need to move that back a little, or just aim it straight down. Hey, that's pretty cool. Straight down there like that. Huh. You won't see it yet until I switch cameras. Okay, I'm about to switch cameras and you guys are going to be amazed. There we go. Here we go. Switching now. Got the list covered. Okay, thanks guys. Are you going to wax or oil it when finished? I'm going to use grapeseed oil on this board. I'm not going to use any mineral oils. I'm going to use grapeseed oil. I think it's going to look bloody nice. I'm going to just keep on doing this board as a project on the next few live shows. How's that sound? Could be good. All right, now we're down here and there's my oil stone. Ta-da! And sitting on the Stanton bench. It's not going anywhere. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now we need a little bit of oil. So, as I say to everyone, I use a little bit of WD and also machine oil, but also, if I've got time, I'll make a mix of kerosene and engine oil. And that makes a really nice light oil. But if I haven't got time, I'll just use WD. You know, call it whatever you want in other countries, but that's what we've got here. And the thing we need to do is to go to the coarse side. Sorry, I don't use water stones. I'll put a bit of that and also a bit of WD on it, and it'll mix up on the stone if I've got any left in the can. I don't want to push too hard. There. All right, chisel. Now, on the back of the chisel, you can see that around the edge and around the front and down that side, don't worry, it's blunt, you have connection. But in the middle, there's nothing. You know, it's still a bit worn. So I'm going to make sure that that area there is all flat. That's the important area. Doesn't matter if that's hollow. Some chisels are actually made with a hollow down the center, so there's less to clean off from the underside as you're going. Great new Dave. Not too much port. Takes too long to come good. Yes. How you like it? Doug might found the accessory kit comes in another package hopefully this week. Good. Okay. Doug Marriott. Hey Dave, just received the TSO product Mitre 18 but no accessory kit. Sounds good. Da, 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 da. Okay, let's get into it. So first thing, just pull the chisel along, move it around, and so we've got the oil distributed evenly. Big thing with any stone is to give it even wear. So notice I'm using the whole stone, and this maintains flatness for me on my stone. There are special plates that you can use, like a granite slab or float glass. You know, you want to make sure it's nice and thick. Don't just use 3mm float. And you can use wet and dry paper on top of those. There are other stones with grits that you can buy, a flattening plate, to try and get through this and get that flat surface. Okay, that's where we're up to. Now that's not polished yet, not by any stretch of the imagination, but I've got a good edge around those three sides. There, on the end, and on this side, I have consistent. There's a couple of tiny little dents down along the edge there. I'll bring it right up close so you can have a better look. See that? Okay. Once the accessory kit comes, I'll give a review. Good on you, Doug. And there's an idea for next year, Dave. Smell-o-vision. Yeah. Doug, the quality of that triangle is stunning. It is. It's unbelievable. Are you going to show how to sharpen saw blades? No, because I don't have a saw set. I'm going to flip this over, give it a quick wipe first. If you don't wipe it, you end up with a whole lot of deposit in the underside, and that's something you've got to clean out from under there all the time. So now, a quick lick with this, and I know we're going slightly over, guys, sorry about that, but that's okay. Like so. Again, just drag it, and that should be enough to mix the WD with the oil. Okay. Now see how I'm pushing down? I'm maintaining there, and there is holding the chisel flat. I'm pushing down on the end as well, 3 fingers or 2 fingers, and keeping the other fingers up out of the way. It's not because that's how I drink tea, like Twinings. I don't want to cut myself. So crucial to do constant wear on the stone. Move it around as much as you can. Use all of the stone. Oh, that's better. You can see there's a little bit of black residue as I'm using the stone. And you'll see how flat your stone is by the deposit left, if there is any deposit left. That's coming up pretty good. There's a couple of, needs a little bit more work. The coarse stone does all the hard work, and then the fine stone just does all the rest. All right. I'm going to switch the camera over to the other one. And there we go. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show today. I hope you got something out of it that might be pertaining to what you do in your own workshop or in your own area where you live, especially with that phone. I'll tell you what, it's a game changer for me. It is such a different thing. Wi-Fi calling, there used to be a thing called Wi-Fi Talk, and apparently it was an app that ran in the background. And Wi-Fi Talk, there was not many people who were very happy with it. And one of the things that Nads explained to me yesterday was that with Wi-Fi Talk, if you'd ever used Wi-Fi Talk, a lot of people were registering it on, they'd download the app when they were connected on the mobile system, and then they'd switch over to Wi-Fi to run it. And he said, no, you'll get a crappy result. Always do it totally on the Wi-Fi, on the mobile system. Then after you've done your first call, then you can switch on your Wi-Fi. He said, turn your Wi-Fi off until then. But he got the answer for me. So thanks again, Nads. It's great. And okay, what can I say now? End of the show. End of the show. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you so much for your patronage for the year. Not saying that it's Patreon, it's patronage is what I've just said there. Thank you so much for sticking by me and helping me out when I get things wrong. And hopefully I've given you something back in return for the time that you've spent watching. And if you like the show, recommend it to other people if you think maybe they might be interested in watching. The videos as well, I'm going to try and get back into those. They may not happen this week, but when I finish holidays, I'll get back into the videos. But the live stream, as I say, it's all good fun, and it's nice and easy. It's a bit of a chat. We can hang out together. I'll do a quick look down this list here as well. I'll see you next year. Have a great show. Back onto there. Off to the Hunter Valley for New Year. Clean Shop Dave, Zane, happy to sit and listen to what you like to share. Always something to new. John, yes, so no, I don't do my own saw blades, but I used to. Leslie Wilson, g'day Dave. Govinda, off to the Hunter. John, don't forget the thumbs up. People, 42 from 70, 75 people watching. There you go. I'll see you next year. Have a great start to the year. Thanks, Govinda, and thank you so much for your generosity. Happy New Year to all from John, Steve Wallbank. Cheers. Opa, have a great New Year, everybody. See you next show. Dinah, Max, Happy New Beer. Steve Wallbank, thanks again. Adventures Wood, thank you for your efforts. Put the show together. Love it. Happy New Year. Doug Merritt, Happy New Year, guys. Andy, g'day, Andrew. How's your drill press going, mate? Thanks. Have a great New Year. Zane, thank you for making the time available and sharing with us those bits. Thank you for the efforts. Jay Parrott, Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for watching. I shall see you all next year, which for me is only 11 hours and 52 minutes away. Thanks for watching. Bye.